Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Let the Right One In. And this is a new Showtime series adapted from the Northern European classic vampire story, Let the Right One In, which is an incredible film, and if you haven't seen it, please do yourself a favor, which focuses on a young boy who becomes attached to a young girl who turns out to be a vampire. And at the heart of this series, you do have that, and Madison Taylor Baez plays Eleanor, and Ian Foreman plays Isaiah, these two young people who develop this really wonderful and genuine relationship with each other. And you have some really great and tender moments between them. And then you have their parents, Damian Bashir, who is the father to Eleanor, who has a dark secret. He has to keep helping his daughter stay alive, who happens to be a vampire. And he pushes himself to very dark places, and that guilt keeps building and building and building. And when they move in next door to a police officer, Anika Noni Rose, Naomi, something becomes complicated when you have Eleanor and Isaiah, their two children, becoming friends, and you have this complicated dynamic between Mark and Naomi, Bashir and Rose's characters, because obviously if Rose knew what Mark was doing, if Naomi knew what Mark was doing, she would definitely want to arrest him because he's killed a lot of people. And you have this dynamic, and it's complicated, and it's tragic, and it's emotional, and draws you in. I love the dynamic between Bashir and Baez. They're incredible as father-daughter here, and you have some added layers with Grace Gummer, who plays this woman who, after her father passes away, realizes that her brother is still alive as a vampire, and you have Nick Stoll, of all people, popping up trying to help her with this, and where this season has these stories colliding, which I think our main story is a lot more interesting than the Grace Gummer's Claire storyline, but there has its merits, and it warrants its inclusion in this season, and becomes very impactful, suspenseful, and quite impactful once things start colliding together as the season goes on. I feel like this is a pretty impressive adaptation of the story. The original story from the original film is a lot more streamlined and focused. This is dealing with some other bigger ideas as well in terms of the ethics of trying to cure this, trying to figure out what's going on with this, doing experiments and all those kinds of things. And the challenges that our main characters go through in this film are quite impactful. And I was really impressed by this series. Do I love it as much as the movie? Not quite. But do I love this series? I think so. This is so well acted. The characters are great. I think Damian Bashir is a perfect lead in this show, who brings a lot of empathy to a character that is very flawed and has to do things he never wanted to do. And Madison Taylor Baez is a great standout here. I think she could be a star after this impressive turn as this young vampire. But in the end, this is an impactful and well-done adaptation for this first season, and it leaves you on a hook that I can't wait to see what comes next. But those are my thoughts on Season 1 of Let the Right One In. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you, as always, for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.